Do you want your ex to think about you non-stop? Imagine if you could use simple psychological techniques to get them obsessed with you again. In this video, I'm going to share 7 scientifically proven strategies that will make your ex constantly think about you. And the best part, these techniques are easy to apply. Stay with me till the end because the final tip is the most powerful. It's so effective, you'll be shocked by how much impact it can have. And don't forget, the guide linked in the description below will give you even more in-depth strategies. So make sure to check it out for all the details you need to truly turn things around. Hey, I'm Alex Carter, a relationship expert with years of experience helping people reconnect with their exes and rebuild their relationships. If this is your first time here, welcome. Today's video isn't just your typical advice. I'm going to show you 7 powerful psychological tricks that are rooted in science. Techniques that tap into the way the mind works, making your ex crave your presence without you having to chase them. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you'll never miss out on any of my future relationship tips. Let's get started. Tip 1. The power of no contact. The first tip, and probably the hardest one to follow, is the no contact rule. This means cutting off all communication with your ex for at least 30 days. No matter how tempting it is to reach out, it's crucial to stick to this. You're not doing this to hurt them or play games. It's about giving both of you the space to breathe and reflect. Now, why is this so powerful? There's a well-known psychological principle at play here. When something or someone is taken away from us, we start to overvalue it. It's a natural human reaction. Think about it. When you're constantly around, your ex doesn't have the chance to miss you. But once you disappear from their life for a while, they begin to wonder what's going on. It taps into a deep-seated fear of loss and missing out. And remember, when someone is no longer part of our daily routine, we tend to idealize the good times we had with them. So how do you implement this? It's simple in theory but can feel tough in practice. No texting, no phone calls, no liking their social media posts, just silence. Yes, it might feel uncomfortable, but this period of distance is absolutely key to making them reflect on what they had with you and wonder what you're doing without them. The goal here is to make them feel your absence. During this time, your ex is likely to start questioning their decision. They'll wonder why you haven't reached out, especially if they expected you to. The more they wonder, the more they'll think about you. Remember, absence really does make the heart grow fonder. Tip 2. Master the art of subtle social media. Next up is using social media strategically. Now, I'm not saying you should flood your feed with selfies or emotional posts. That's not the way to go. Instead, post content that shows you're living your best life, thriving, and enjoying new experiences. But be careful not to overshare, especially anything too personal or dramatic. Here's where psychology comes into play. When your ex sees you looking happy, confident, and moving forward, it triggers what we call FOMO, fear of missing out. They'll start wondering, what are they up to? Who are they with? Are they moving on without me? That curiosity will grow, making them think about you more often, especially if they expected you to be sad or struggling. For instance, imagine you post a group photo of you at a party or event, smiling and having a great time. But here's the key. Don't tag too many people. Don't give away all the details. Let their imagination fill in the gaps. They'll wonder who you're with, what fun things you're doing, and why you seem to be enjoying life so much without them. This subtle approach keeps them guessing and keeps you on their mind. Just remember, the goal here is to show that you're thriving, not trying too hard. Keep it light, positive, and leave some mystery for them to think about. Tip 3. Send strategic texts. Once the no-contact period is over, it's time to re-establish communication. But you need to do this strategically. The goal isn't to flood them with messages or go overboard with emotional texts. Instead, start with a simple, casual text that doesn't seem forced. Why keep it simple? The idea here is to pique their curiosity without overwhelming them. A light message like, "Hey, just saw something that reminded me of you," is enough to get them thinking without feeling pressured. This approach reopens the door, but in a way that makes them wonder why you're so casual about it. It also taps into their natural curiosity. They'll want to know what it is that reminded you of them. Here's the key. Don't text too often. Keep your messages spaced out to maintain a sense of mystery. You want them to be curious about what you're up to, not feel like they're your go-to conversation partner again. A few well-timed messages are far more powerful than a constant stream of texts. Remember, you're re-establishing communication, not diving back into old habits. Keep it light, keep them guessing, and let them come to you. Tip 4. Show personal growth. The next tip is to focus on becoming the best version of yourself, both physically and emotionally. This isn't just about impressing your ex. It's about genuinely working on your own growth and well-being. Whether it's hitting the gym, learning a new skill, or improving your mental health, these changes not only benefit you, but will also grab your ex's attention. When your ex sees you growing and improving, it triggers a psychological reaction. They start to feel like they're missing out on the new and improved version of you. This creates a sense of loss because they'll realize that while you're becoming better, they're no longer part of your journey. This feeling of missing out is powerful. It makes them wonder if they made the right decision. Let's say you've picked up a new hobby, like hiking or photography. You can casually share your progress in conversation or post about it on social media, but don't overdo it. For instance, you could mention it in passing like, "Just got back from a great hike. I've been really into exploring new trails lately." This shows growth without coming off as trying too hard. Remember, it's not just about how you look, but also how you feel. Confidence is attractive, and when you show that you're thriving, your ex will notice the positive changes, making them reconsider their decision. Tip 5. Make them feel like they're losing you. The next strategy is to subtly create the feeling that your ex might be losing you. This isn't about playing mind games, but rather showing them that you're moving forward with your life and not waiting around. When people feel like they're losing something, they often value it more. By living your life and hinting that you're moving on, you trigger that sense of urgency in your ex's mind. They'll start thinking, what if they're really moving on? Am I making a mistake by letting them go? This taps into their fear of missing out on you. An easy way to do this is to casually mention plans or activities that suggest you're not dwelling on the past. For example, you might say, "I've been so busy lately, catching up with friends and planning some exciting trips." This hints that you're thriving and that you're not sitting at home thinking about them. Don't be too obvious about it. Just drop these hints in a natural way. The goal is to show that you're not waiting for them to come back and that you have your own life, which will make them want to be part of it again. Tip 6. Limit emotional responses. One of the biggest mistakes people make when reconnecting with their ex is getting overly emotional. Whether it's through texts, phone calls, or social media, showing too much emotion can push your ex away. Instead, focus on keeping your responses calm and casual. When you react emotionally, especially with sadness or neediness, it can make your ex feel overwhelmed or even validate their decision to break up. On the other hand, if you keep things light and casual, it shows confidence and emotional stability. This will make your ex curious and intrigued, wondering why you're not more affected by the breakup. Let's say your ex reaches out to ask how you're doing. Instead of diving into deep emotional territory or hinting that you miss them, respond with something simple and upbeat like, "I've been great, staying busy with work and catching up with friends. How about you?" This shows you're doing fine without them, which can pique their interest. Remember, keeping your emotions in check doesn't mean ignoring how you feel. It's about showing that you're in control and thriving, which is far more attractive to your ex than appearing desperate or heartbroken. Tip 7. Create a sense of mystery. Finally, let's talk about creating a sense of mystery. You don't need to reveal everything you're doing or feeling. Keeping your ex guessing can actually work in your favor. Humans are naturally curious. When you don't reveal every detail about your life, your ex will start wondering what you're up to. This sense of mystery draws them in and keeps you on their mind. The less they know, the more they'll want to find out. In conversations, whether through text or in person, don't overshare. For example, if they ask what you've been doing, keep it vague, like, "Oh, just been working on a few things, nothing too crazy." This leaves room for curiosity. The goal is to keep them wondering, which keeps you interesting in their mind. By staying a bit elusive, you create an air of intrigue that will make them want to reconnect on a deeper level. Don't rush to fill in the blanks. Let them come to you with questions. Let's quickly recap the 7 tips to make your ex think about you constantly. 1. Use the no contact rule to give them space to miss you. 2. Master the art of subtle social media by posting about your thriving life. 3. Send strategic casual texts after no contact to pique their curiosity. 4. Show personal growth, both physically and emotionally, to attract them back. 5. Make them feel like they're losing you by hinting that you're moving on. 6. Limit emotional responses to show you're calm and in control. 7. Create a sense of mystery to keep them intrigued. These strategies aren't about manipulation. They're about giving your ex space to realize what they're missing while you focus on your own growth. When they see you thriving without them, it naturally makes them wonder if they made a mistake. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos. And if you're looking for more detailed advice on how to get your ex back, check out the guide linked below in description. It's helped thousands of people rebuild their relationships.